So tonight's gonna be kind of a Q&A session. We're going to talk about compensation and points because we had questions about that. I want to share with you the Trello board on that so we can kind of go through that. We're going to talk about what happens when somebody goes inactive. There was a question about that. So we're going to touch on several different topics today. And like I said, we really want to start getting into a regular routine with having training in Zooms. All of the training in Zooms are being recorded and are being uploaded to our Zoom board on the Trello. There's a Trello app, and there's also you can access it through the website. We're going to go through that first, probably just to show you where this is going to go. And then, like I said, tonight's kind of a Q&A, and then a last question and answer session as far as, because we're getting ready, a few of us are getting ready to launch our email marketing campaign tomorrow. And in case anybody has any questions about that, for those of you who don't know what that is, that are brand new, we purchased some leads, some qualified leads from a data company. And we are getting ready to launch an email marketing campaign to those leads. We purchased 24,000, which is crazy. And so we're getting ready to start sending out emails, a sequence of emails. And we're going to get started with that. We've been working on that for the past, month or so, getting that ready. Got those in this week, got those sorted by everybody's order, and are getting ready to send those out. So like I said, tonight's really just kind of a Q&A. What else can I share with you and kind of go through tonight with you? So I'm excited to have everybody on. We got a good crowd tonight. And so I'm excited to see that. At any point in time, if you have a question, there is an option for you to, let's see, I think it's under reactions. You can click where it says raise hand, and I'll see you, or you can drop something into the chat and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I think most everybody that's going to be on is going to be on. So tonight I wanted to start with Trello. So now Trello has y'all forgive me. Hold on 1 second. I hit the wrong button. What did I do? That's my FBLA stuff. So Trello has.
Are you ready, Cass?
Trello has an app that you can use, and there's also a website that you can use. And I'm going to do a screen share on that real quick. Trying to get myself situated. Okay. Okay. So hopefully everybody can now see my screen. And I'm sorry, y'all. This is my school stuff that's kind of like spilling over.
Right now, are you ready for your shower?
All right. So in Trello, the purpose of doing this, and I'm on mute.
I know, and you hit her back.
Tracy's got kids going on.
Okay. Sorry. You want me to?
Bless her heart. He's got kids going
Somebody's
on.
not happy about
Somebody is not happy at all.
Not at all.
No, I remember those days, you guys. Okay. I remember, and I'm trying to find my, let's see, where's that? I think I can. I'm trying to find the, let's see. Nope, I don't want to do that. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
Sure, it's Michael. Just go to participants, and then it has the option there on the right side, I believe.
Well, it just says, but for me, it just says invite or copy link.
Oh, well, then maybe it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on.
I'm the unofficial, not expert on Zoom.
Look, you would think you know, he was like, come on, Terry, you would think by now you would be a little bit better at this.
It looks like she muted herself now.
Did she? Okay. All right. Okay, so here on the Trello, and thank you, my sweet friend Michael, who put me on this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a little hesitant because I tend to do things kind of like Cherry's way. And so I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna like this Trello idea. But Michael put me on this, and I will tell you guys, I love this workspace. I do. And so I kind of went crazy with it. And I hope that you will grow to become familiar with it. So what the Trello workspace is, it's a place for us to upload all of our stuff. Everything from Zoom meetings to things specific to the email marketing campaign, any prospect videos that you want to send out. I have loaded here the most popular ones to send. So I am, hoping and wanting you to become familiar with this workspace. Because again, this is where everything is loaded. There's business builder documents here. So let's just go through this real quick. I'm gonna start with Zoom meetings just because again, this is where tonight Zoom will go. Here are some of the ones from the last month's Zooms that we have done. Like last week was on placements. Of course, we got the email marketing campaign stuff going on. I also loaded Phil's PSI training from May 2022 in there just because that's the last huge PSI Zoom that he did. And then some of the ones that I have done since August. Of course, tonight's will also go on this board, but so you can click on, or in the app, you can click on it and it will load and it'll show you either the MP4 file if I uploaded it directly, or like with Phil's link, it will take you directly to his Rumble page and you can just click on the link there. So in the Zoom meetings, that's kind of self-explanatory. Now, when you get ready to go over and you go back to, I don't know why it keeps doing that. You've got the email marketing campaign stuff, which for those of us that are doing that, here are all of our email scripts, our objections and stuff. And of course, our documents we're using for that. Prospect videos. Now, again, these are the most common ones that we send out. Like the Y7K or the inflation video is really, really good. There's videos here about the difference between bullion and collectibles, the Sound Money wallet, the secret of Sound Money, while we talk about that. So some of these are, and actually most all of these are videos I got directly off of 7K's page on YouTube. Then under business builder documents, this is where the share plan document is. And we're going to go through that tonight. We're also going to go through the share plan snapshot. So I'll get back to that in just a minute. I also included two documents on tax savings that a CPA had drafted for us and some home business tax deductions. Now, again, this is categorized as a home-based business. So we are, because we get 1099s with this, this is something that we can take advantage of. And then the last one that's really important in here is if you're ready to enroll someone, here is the email template that I typically send out, which again is just my 4 basic steps. And again, this is just tools and tricks and things that I want you to have access to and feel comfortable, feel comfortable in using. Now we all know who Bob Reed is. Bob Reed has his own band channel. And so I copied some of his key documents that he uses, like when you're presenting and talking to someone one-on-one, you can use a Silver Eagle to do that. His action plan, even the income disclosure statement is listed here. So again, just some Bob Reed documents that are very good to be familiar with. And again, he has, guys, Bob Reed's been in 7K since the beginning. So he has 5.5 years worth of YouTube videos. So if you go to his YouTube site, you will see, I don't even know what the total number of videos that he has, but I pulled out some of the best ones. Again, on his business building strategies. And these are some things that you can watch at your leisure, at your own time and pace. But again, this is just things about like the wealth strategies presentation that he does, how the 7K comp plan exactly works. And again, just how to work your business and take charge of your business. Because again, it is a business. Now, whether you choose to treat it as such is kind of up to you, but it is, and you do have business activities that you will be conducting. So you need to take advantage of every opportunity that's there. Sound money documents, that's basically the setup guide to get your Sound Money wallet set up, and then linking your Stack and Sale to the Sound Money wallet if you want to. Now, for those that are new, the Sound Money wallet, again, is found in your back office, and you can get your bank account set up with that to get that going. And then Stack and Sale, of course, is where you catalog and scan and catalog, your collectibles, so that you can track those long-term for market appreciation. And we're probably going to do a little quick Zoom later on about Sound Money and Stack and Sale, just again, because we really haven't talked about everything. And I haven't done a true training video personally on everything, but there's so much that's already there, that's already done. So I hate to kind of rehash the same thing, but I do want to make that stuff available. All right, now placement is what we talked about last week. We talked about how we get you to the associate level. And then we went over again briefly the copper, bronze, and silver chart of how we add and grow, and how placements work as far as getting you from associate level to copper, which is 8 people, to bronze, which is 22, and then to silver. And those are there under its respective board. And then the last couple ones are new member onboarding. So there's a 7K startup document and onboarding document that just kind of helps you get started for those that are brand new. And this is why whenever somebody signs up from here on out, we're going to be doing 2 things. We're going to be sending them the invite for Telegram to our team chat channel, number 1, and number 2, we're going to be sending them the invite to this Trello board so that they can always have at their fingertips anything that they will need to learn and grow and work through some of this. Some people won't really want to dive into all of this, but it won't be for the lack of us not presenting it to them and making it available to them. And then they can decide for themselves how far they want to go with this. And then I just included a board for some marketing photos of things that I had used before. Some of these I got off of 7K. I even included the the standard and premium membership, just again, things that I thought would be beneficial. And we're always going to be adding to this. Like tonight, the Zoom for tonight will be going under here. And as we continue to edit and find new materials, we'll be going and adding to the Trello board so that, everybody has an opportunity to, again, learn and grow and share and be a part of the whole team. And like I said, the last year, we were just building and growing. I mean, just quickly. And we're still going to do that. Phil is getting ready to launch, his phase 2. And so that's really coming, but at the same time, it's also time to pour into our existing members and teach and train those that really want to learn and want to understand this business and be able to reap all the benefits that are here and are available to members. And so I want to make sure that we do that. So again, the Trello board to me is going to be extremely huge going forward, and we need to make sure, I keep doing that, that we do that as we go through here. And I don't know why I keep doing that. Hold on one second. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. I had this thing set and then I kept fiddling around with it. And there we go. Okay, so the Trello board is there. And like I said, you can really see for yourself that there's different things that are there. If you need help or want to add something to the Trello board, each member can do that. You can add to the Trello board. Just let me know and we will get that updated and going through that for you. So tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about, the share plan, and we're going to talk about points because I know we had some questions that came up about points. So I want to do that, and I'm going to minimize this so you can see. Okay, can everybody see that? Okay. All right, so this is our share plan. This is the sheet where you will kind of talk to people about the benefits of being a 7K member. And there's 12 different benefits, okay? You've got, again, everything from the shopping cart to the 7K Advantage, which is our retail rewards and travel rewards program. Stack and Sell, which is how you catalog and scan your collectibles, your Sound Money wallet. You've got the 7K Health, the Auto Saver, which is your monthly coin option, bullion, which is the ability to buy gold and silver bullion, silver eagles, coins, bars at 7K's cost. The coin drops, which are coin drops that are available for coins that go on sale. The IRA, you have that, the 1099 tax advantages, e-commerce sales, and then of course the residual income opportunity. And some of you have already seen what the residual income opportunity looks like. And some of you are just on the cusp of getting that done and seeing that for yourself. Okay, so there's two memberships, and most of you know that. You don't need to really worry about this as far as, and I want to say this too. Most, again, 85 to 90% of everyone that comes into 7K is just going to choose the $199 option. The $499 really is for those who want to really, turn this into a business situation. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. All right, so let's talk about points. And I'm not sure if how everybody understands points, but no, last week we talked about having two sides, and it basically starts with you having two people, a left team and a right team. That whole U plus 2, where you start by building your team based on adding two people. Now, those two people can be people that you add personally, that you have, spoken to, personally talked to, emailed, whatever. They could be also come from PSI leads from Phil. That's possible too. But again, once we get there, you're going to start earning points. So you earn points for people signing up and becoming a member. You also earn points when someone makes a product purchase from the website. We'll go through that in just a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. But it has to be for a product that has points. So bullion, which is the dealer direct section, has 0 points. And any bullion purchase through the Sound Money wallet has 0 points. The reason for that is 7K can't really pay us commission points on a product that we're getting at 7K's cost. So that's why bullion has no commission points. So basically, again, memberships, product purchases for collectibles and jewelry primarily. And then the third is for autosavers. Now, any autosaver of your own and any product purchases of your own that have points, you get those points as well. The only thing that you don't get for you is a membership purchase or a membership renewal for you. Your upline gets that, not you, but everything else you get points for. So basically, we're starting to talk about accumulating points. Now, I know this graphic says that you need to have 500 on each side, or 500 on team 1 and 500 on team 2. Well, right now, 7K has a condition where they will actually pay you on 250 points rather than 500, just to allow you to start getting some points coming in and cycling and going through. So when you start to accumulate points, you probably will notice, and I'm going to show you what mine looks like, that one side is accumulating a lot more points than the other. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Because I'm not afraid. Okay. So this is my Cherry Jordan dashboard. Okay. When you log in to your 7K account and you see my team under the dashboard, it's going to show you the number of active personal enrollees on your left, the number of active and personal enrollees on your right, and the number of points that you have on your left team and the number of points you have on your right team. Okay, so you can see by the graphic on the screen that my left side is huge. Okay, that because a lot of these points are spillover points from Phil, because Phil is my sponsor. So I'm getting a lot of points that are shared with me that for people that I'm just getting points for that I necessarily did not personally enroll or enroll under my team. So there's some terms you're going to have to start being familiar with. One of these is spillover. Again, it just means that Phil's cup has ran over and those extra points are spilling over into me and into my team. That happens as far down as those points will go. So you've got, that's why my left side, which is my bank side is my left side, because that's the side that's the largest. When you hear Bob Reed talk about bank side, which is your strong side, and your pay side, which is your weak side, that just means that one side, the side that's the largest, is your bank side. Those points are always just adding and adding and adding and adding. Okay. My pay side is my small side. And that's the side that I will get paid on, because you get paid on the smallest side. And those points cycle every week. They will cycle, off of each side. But you can see that I'm starting over this week, because Sunday is the first day of the pay week. You can see that I'm starting this week off at 0. But anyway, so you've got your bank side, which is your largest side, and your weak side, which is your smallest side. And the weak side is the side that you get paid on. Okay. Now, let's see. Hold on. Let me move this down. Go back to where I was. Okay. So when you start accruing points, every Saturday night at midnight, the week ends. And you will have, in certain situations, up until 500, I believe, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, up to 500, where your points will continue to accrue until you get paid. Now, my points flushed this week, and I'm gonna use myself for an example because so I finished last week with 812 points. So I got paid on 500, but because I didn't have 1,000, that 312 points got flushed and went to my loyalty. So don't, like I said, I'm just showing you what mine looks like. Yours is going to be a little bit different until you really start getting into a regular weekly commission income check structure. But if you'll go to on this share plan, if you'll go through this earning points section, you just need to understand, number one, where do points come from? How often can I get paid on those? Okay, we're going to go through that in just a second, and understanding what those points are for. Okay, so once you get paid for those points, if you have 250 points on your left and 250 points on your right, 7K will subtract those points and pay you $250. If you have 500 points on your left and 500 points available on your right, they would subtract those and pay you $500. And that can happen every single solitary week once you start adding enough people to do that. Now, historically, through 7K, the two largest weeks are the 1st and the 15th. Sometimes on the 8th and sometimes on the 21st, you'll have enough points to get paid on. Sometimes the week of the 21st and the 26th goes together. And I know that you've probably seen this and you may not understand what this is. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you. All right, so these are all of the autosavers that I have not me personally, but that are scheduled on my left team and my right team by the day of the month. So you see there's 5 date options for autosavers. There's 5. The 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 21st, and the 26th. Okay, so as we're going through here, you'll start seeing where regular points will start coming in once we continue to add and build and grow, so that you're getting into a regular. This is called your monthly. Well, it's called a monthly residual. This is money that you're getting paid for over and over and over because someone set up a monthly coin purchase for that week, and that will continue until either they change it to a different day or they cancel it. Okay, and again, this is a very good example of an income activity that you've done by helping someone get this set up. But by doing that one time, you're going to earn these points over and over and over and over. And this, guys, is what you're wanting to do. This is what Bob Reed talks about. It's not necessarily, it is about rank up until a point, but it's really about points, about helping our people understand that the reason for setting up the auto, why would you want to do that? And then secondly, helping them decide which one of those options is best for them. Not everybody that I have in my downline is on the autosaver, and that's really okay. That's really their choice. But you and I both see Phil posting that we have people that are missing out on income because they don't have their autosaver on. But again, that's getting into a situation, and they may not want to do that, and that may be. We just have to make sure that they're educated and understand. Now, for me, my autosaver, because I do both collectibles. I do the one autosaver each month. I do the animal series. I do those, and then I buy Silver Eagles with anything I have left over. That's just my personal choice. But I have an autosaver, as do not everybody, but most of my team. And I have autosaver set up on the left over here, and set up on the right. And those numbers change from day to day. Usually I have somebody that'll change. So this means that on the first day of the month, I have 115 autosavers that are going out for these many points on this side. And again, these are things that are going to be added over time and as we build people. And we talk to people about setting up an autosaver just so that they can start participating in both sides of the wealth strategy session. All right, so in the wealth strategy session, there's bullion, which is like your defensive strategy, which means you're going to protect as much wealth as you can. That's what you want to do. You want to protect. It's like playing defense. You're protecting the goal line. You're protecting your assets, the money that you have. You want to protect that. But you got to have offense too, to move the ball towards your goal, right? And I hate using football as an analogy, but I understand it. So the collectible side of 7K is your long-term offensive strategy. So, and Phil, has done a good job with this, but 7K does a really good job with this too, with their videos on the bullion versus collectibles aspect of understanding that you need both pieces in place so that you're protecting what you have, but you're also growing and advancing for the future. And so setting up the autosaver, just setting up one, allows you to do that, because what I do with mine is I take my autosaver that I get in every single month. I take my little phone out, I scan it, and I scan my coin with the little barcode that it has on there, and it goes into my stack and sell, and I know how much I paid for it, and I know how much it's worth. And my coins have gone up over 30% this year. So if you're not using the stack and sell, that's something that we definitely need to talk about, because that is a member benefit. You're missing out on the opportunity to know what your coins are worth by doing that. And again, understanding the difference too from offensive to defensive, and why does a collectible, why is it priced so high? Understanding where the value of those collectibles comes from. And that's probably something that we'll get into a little bit later, but because it's just a lot to go through in one little training. But I want to talk to you about points. I want you to understand where points comes from. And it comes from those income producing activities, those 3 activities that I just mentioned. Again, memberships, which could be initial memberships and renewals, okay? Product purchases from the product store of collectibles or jewelry, because jewelry does have points also, not very much, but it does have points. And then the autosaver. And those are points that you can bank on and count on each and every month coming out those weeks. So again, those are points. So this is going to talk to you about accumulating points. All right, now this is what you're going to get into when we talk about cycles and commission. Okay. All right, so and I know this is going to talk to you about 500, and that's okay, because 250 is the same deal, but you're talking about starting at 250. Once you reach that 250 point threshold on your left and on your right. Now, you may ask me, well, Cherry, how do you know how many points you have? Go to your account. If you click on that at the top, go to your dashboard, and there's your points. It will always tell you and reflect. See how my points just changed to 20 because somebody made a product purchase. It's going to update automatically, instantly, whatever. But your points are automatically going to populate in there, So you'll know how many points you already have, you always have on your left, and then you're on your right side, always, okay? So as you're going through here and you start looking at points, the main goal with 7K is two things. One is you want to get yourself into a situation by reaching copper, because copper is pretty much where this is going to start at, which is around 8 to 10 people. 8 people get you to copper, but 8 to 10 people will get you into a situation where your autosaver is paid for, okay? Then any money that you earn after the autosaver is paid for is just profit for that month, okay? Now, from a business building aspect and from a tax aspect, if you're building your business, your membership and your autosaver are two activities that are taxable deductions for your business. And again, this is a business. Now you can treat it as such or not. It's really up to you, but it is a business. You're going to be issued a 1099 at the end of the year if you earn over $600. So the whole point is getting you to copper, which is, and if you listen to any of the calls on corporate on Monday night, they talk about copper a lot. If you look at the contests that we run for promotions for, for convention, or we run ones for the summer, or even the one that just started now for the Dominican trip, they talk about copper a lot for a reason. Getting you to copper gets you into the profit margin and into the profit category. Okay, that's very important, because then your one main expense for the month is taken care of, and then you're in the profit section for the rest of the month if you earn anything else. Okay, so then there's that. Then there's also the opportunity to take and, watch those coins appreciate, over time. And if you're cataloging them and keeping up with them, then you'll see that appreciation as it happens. But anyway, so we're talking about points. Once you get to those points, every Saturday night at midnight, which is actually, when I say midnight, it's midnight Mountain Time, because it's based on Idaho time. Okay, that's Mountain Time. So it's actually about 1 a.m. in Alabama or 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Anyway, once you get to that time frame each Saturday night, if you have enough points to get paid, your points are going to cycle. That's the word. That's what cycle means. Okay. And it's going to pay you your commission to your Sound Money wallet. It's going to go into your Sound Money wallet. Now, it's going to pin and not be available for 7 days. Well, actually, take that back. Yeah, 7 days. That's going to be available Sunday morning, about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Saturday morning of the next week, so it's like 6 days later, it will then be available to you for use, and it will show up and if you go into your Sound Money wallet, it'll show that it's pending, but on that Sunday. But when it gets to that following Saturday, it'll actually show up in your available balance in your Sound Money wallet. It will show up in there, and then you can then take that Sound Money account balance. Now, I've got cash in there. I've got some silver in there, and you can see where I get paid. I can either transfer it and buy more silver, or I can kind of let it sit in there for a little bit. This, guys, has become my savings account. I don't use my bank anymore. I mean, I use my bank for paying bills, but I don't really use, you know what I'm saying? I don't really use my savings account anymore. The Sound Money wallet really has become my savings account. You need to spend some time learning how to, if you haven't done so, how to transfer and how to move money in your Sound Money wallet from cash to silver, and make be able to make those silver purchases. Because honestly, in the dealer direct section, and I know I'm off base, but the dealer direct section doesn't have Silver Eagles a lot. They sell out very quickly. So I talk to people all the time about using and setting up their Sound Money wallet so that they can buy their Silver Eagles all the time. But that's where your commission money is going to go to, you guys. It's going to go there every single week that you get paid on. And you can take that and turn that in to Silver Eagles, or you can leave it in there and pay for your autosaver, or you can leave it in there and pay for a product purchase, or I can pay for that for my $100 deposit to go to Salt Lake City, which I did. So you can use that money for any purchases on 7K through the Sound Money wallet. And what's the benefit of that? You don't pay the 3% processing fee for using your debit or credit card. It's free. So again, we need to be learning the tools that we have so we can, when we share with people and they ask us, well, what's in it for me? What's 7K going to do for me? Okay. And I know I'm like really off base, but anyway, I got off on that tangent, but I wanted to show you about what happens when you get paid. You get paid each week that you qualify for a commission. And again, the threshold went from 500 to 250. Okay, so we're at 250 for points. Once that cycles every week, then those points come off of your balance. You get paid for those points. It pins for like 6 days. Then that money is available for you to use for product purchases, autosaver, buy Silver Eagles in the wallet, or you could transfer it out to your bank account if you want to. You can do either of those. It's really up to you. All right. So any questions on where points come from, how that cycles, and when it cycles, where does it go to? Any questions on that at all?
I have
Okay.
a quick question.
All right, shoot.
So if you go back to your like your left and your right team, the points visible for each side, just the way my brain works. So since the 15th is coming up and you have 2,270 points, so you wake up on the 16th, you'll see those 2,270 points on your right side.
Yes.
Okay.
If everybody's autosaver goes through.
Yeah. So like in theory, if all of that stays until the 15th,
Yes.
that number
Yes.
moves up.
And
Okay.
the only thing, and I'm gonna say this to you, just because I want you to know, this is one of the questions you and I are gonna ask in Salt Lake City. So for instance, what happened was on the first, I had 7, because I figured it out later. I had 140 points I didn't get paid on for the first, but I didn't know who they were.
Mm.
And I only found out when they went inactive after, like on the 6th. So like 5 days later, it starts giving you a notification that so-and-so is going inactive in 8 more days or 9 more days. And then that's how I figured out who went inactive. You and I are going to find out is there any way 7K can notify us of whose autosaver didn't go through, so we can contact them faster than 5 days later, to say, hey, just letting you know, yesterday was the first and your autosaver didn't go through. Check your card, because some of it is people got new cards and they forget to change that.
Mm.
I had a couple people that forgot that that was coming out, so they didn't have enough funds in there. But once they got that done, it was fixed. So that's something that's going to be there. But yeah, basically that's what this does. Is as you get into really growing your team and growing your downline, these points are going to be your best friend, because this is what's going to get you into a regular weekly income check situation.
Awesome.
And again, Kim, that changes a little bit, because I may have somebody that switches from the 15th to the 1st or vice versa, or those numbers may change a little bit, but for the most part, they don't. not drastically anyway. So, but as we continue to grow, this is why Bob Reed, who is just a gold, has his point structure. If you can see his point structure, it's ridiculous. So this is what you want to do. You want to build points and have points coming in each and every week, all throughout the month. That's what you really want. What you don't want to do is, as we continue to grow, everybody on the 1st and the 15th, again, are the largest 2 weeks of the month. We all know that, but you want to make sure that you're getting everything that you can. When Brenda's waiting to get in, let me pop her in. You want to make sure that you're not missing out on any points. So, and as we continue to grow, everybody, it'll make a little bit more sense. But yes, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at, okay, this is how many points I can expect. This is how many points, I should have here. And again, since my left side is my huge side, my right side is my pay side. Now for you, yours is the same. Your left side is the larger side, and your right side is the pay side. For some of my team members on my right side is exactly the opposite. And again, each person is a little bit different. It just really depends. But yes, that's what that looks like. And I'm not showing this you guys for any other purpose than education. I want you to see what this looks like and what we are all working to get you guys to. Because again, as we grow each person, we want to educate as we grow so that everybody understands, well, how can I best maximize? Brian, Bob has like 2.5 million points on his left. And there's some weeks, you guys, that Bob has more points than he can get paid for because he's only gold. He loses out some weeks, like on 10,000 points, he can't get paid for. I would be I would cry. I would totally cry. But anyway, I hope that makes sense. Kim, did I answer your question on that? But anyway, I want to just, I just want to show you that, what we're wanting to do. Okay, so now let's go into this here. And I want to make sure everybody kind of understands this. So again, I know this says team 1, 500 points, which is your left side. Team 2 is your right side. Just you can insert 250 points there, okay, where it says 500. So 250 points left and right equals a $250 check, or 500 and 500 equals a $500 check. That's again just interchangeable there. So on the auto savers, this is what we get points for. These are the breakdowns on the points. On the standard and premium memberships, we get 50 or 150. And again, we're all trying to get everybody to associate, and then copper, which is again hugely important, is next with 2 and 2. And like I said, we talked a little bit about that last week. As far as the breakdown on that, that's really 8 people. And then bronze is 22. And again, are you going to hit those max payouts all the time? No, you're not. But you could, if you had a huge downline down this way, not necessarily wide, but down this way, it could happen. So this little snapshot right here is absolutely vital to understand what your points need to look like, what your rank needs to look like in order for you to start making some goals for yourself. And again, everybody's goals should be 1, get to associate, 2nd, get to copper as soon as possible. And then, silver and bronze, takes a little bit, but you can get there. I mean, and again, it's just about, hopefully we can continue to have some success with adding people through Phil. And then we're then doing our own thing, doing the email thing. We're hoping to have some success that way too. But learning this snapshot right here, you guys, is going to be hugely.
My
hugely important.
goodness.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. That's anyway. Does that make sense with y'all? Are y'all understanding that okay? I hope so. But again, it's right there under the share plan document. The snapshot is just what I just showed you, which is, you know, that one. It's kind of just an updated version. But yeah, we just want to help you get your maximum points. We want to help you do that. And that's, like I said, part of what I want to help you to do is understand why, again, associate's important, because you can't do anything if you're not an associate. Secondly, copper is next, and going from there. Okay, so we talked a little bit about point. Now, Brian asked a question earlier today, and I want to talk about this. Okay. Let's see. Let's say you have somebody that goes inactive on your team. And let's just assume for conversation wise that you were copper. Okay, which means you had eight people, but then you went back from copper to associate, which means because one of those 8 people went inactive. Okay, so again, let's go back to our little chart. Copper is, let's go back to our little chart, placements. I want to show you this. This is a copper chart. Okay, this is not the one I want to use, but this will work. This will be okay. Hold on, let's see that. Let's use this one. This is better. Okay, this is copper. Okay, right here in the middle. Y'all see it? Can y'all see that? Okay. Okay, so remember, this is you. And let's just assume that one of these 8 people went inactive. So then you drop rank from copper back to associate, okay? Because now you're not copper anymore, right? Well, they can be reactivated 3 ways. You can, and Field is not a proponent of this, because if they're not going to maintain their active status by being a person that does the autosaver, he really doesn't want us to add anybody under them. Because again, if you continue to add people under somebody that's not going to commit to being on the autosaver program, you're kind of wasting your time and spinning your wheels. Now, on the autosaver, the reason for the autosaver is not really, yes, I do get a financial benefit out of my downline being on the autosaver. I do, but it's really more for my team members to take advantage of, making sure that they're always active and, you know, don't leave themselves out of being in the commission structure, because you can't be inactive and get a commission check. It doesn't matter if you're presidential. It doesn't matter. You can't be inactive and draw a commission check. So you don't want to leave that out. So typically we try not to build under people who don't have an autosaver set up, just because what's going to happen is, if someone doesn't have an autosaver set up and you're adding people under them and they go inactive, it's going to create a situation, and the situation can only be rectified by them going active again. So again, you can add somebody under them and it will reactivate them for another 45 days. You could do that. I wouldn't recommend that, because again, you're going to be back in the same situation later on if they're not wanting to do the autosaver. for whatever reason. Secondly, they could go in there and buy 15 points worth of product. They can do that and not be on the autosaver. That's fine. They can buy 15 points every 45 days and be totally okay and not do the autosaver. Odds are, though, they're going to pay 2 to 3 times what an autosaver would cost just to accomplish the same at 15 points. Because you can buy a state label Silver Eagle for $115 and get your points. But you can't necessarily go to the product store and buy something for $115 and get 15 points. I hope that makes sense. But you could do that. So again, the autosaver is the easiest way to stay active all the time. But the question was this. Okay, Terry, what happens if somebody goes inactive? Can I go in there and reactivate them myself? The answer to that is yes. So if I am you, on this chart right here, if I am you, and one of my teammates goes inactive, and I've done this several times because I needed them to have a specific rank, because what happens is when you really start to team build and you've got somebody that's like halfway down that deranks, it deranks everybody, the whole side. So one person deranking can mess up the whole side. So I've gone in there and bought a coin under that person. And what does that mean? Okay, you know how if you're logged into your account and you go to the product store and make a purchase, like say, for instance, I wanted to go and buy this earthquake coin right here for 5 points for $199. Okay, that's member pricing, right? Well, what I'd have to do in that case, under that person that I needed to reactivate and re-rank, I would have to go into and log in. Okay, first of all, you would have to log out totally of your account, because if you don't, 7K is going to think you're still in your account. So you got to log out to your account. Secondly, you would have to go to that person's account that you want to buy under, make sure you have their correct username and go to their website. So how it's 7kmetals.com/username, whatever their username is, you're going to need to know their specific username in 7K. And to do that, let's just take you through that real quick. In your Downline Explorer, the way to find somebody's username, and I'm gonna pick on John Laurie since he's my first one, because John is on my left. John Laurie's username is John T. Laurie. It's right here where it says username. Okay, so I could go to John Laurie's website at 7kmetals.com/John T. Laurie. I could go to his website and place an order for a coin. I can do that. But what happens is you're going to have to do that as a guest and not as a member. So I could go to John's website and buy a coin under John Laurie. But I have to do that as a guest. And yes, I do end up paying guest prices and not member prices. But at that point of doing that, I'm doing that out of desperation because it's affected usually myself and pretty much everybody on that whole right side. Okay, all right, Brian. So let's see. Okay, so basically, here it goes. You need to know, let's see, let me go back here to the chat again. All right, so you need to know the person's username that you want to buy coin under. Okay, you need to know who that is. Okay, all right, and I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm just gonna take you through this. I'm gonna log out of my account completely. Okay. I'm gonna open up a brand new tab. And I'm gonna go order a coin. I'm not really gonna do that, but I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's just say John Laurie was my problem child. And you're gonna have this from time to time. I would have to go to John, I would go to 7K metals, if I could type, be great, 7kmetals.com. And his username is John T. Laurie. Okay. And it's gonna, of course, it's gonna ask me for my location. And it's gonna show that this is his website. How do I know that this is his website? Because his name should be at the bottom. Okay, so you want to confirm that you are on the correct person's site. Okay. And again, how did I know which site to go to? I had to go into my downline explorer and look the person up and find their username. Okay, once I found their username, I went to their specific 7K website. Okay, so let me go back in here into the chat. So you need to know the person's username, and then you want to go to 7kmetals.com and /username to that person's specific website and confirm their name at the bottom. Okay, so you want to go to 7kmetals.com, type in their username that you had to locate in Downline Explorer. I'm gonna put that in there, locate username in Downline Explorer. Go to their specific website and make sure you have confirmed that that is their correct name. Okay, once you've done that and you realize you're on the correct page, you're going to click on products. And I'm going to go back to the chat. You're going to then click on products. Okay, you can make any purchase that has points. It doesn't matter if it's a collectible, which usually has points. The boxes usually don't have points at all. Those are just tools. Collectibles all have points. They all have varying points. Let's see. The jewelry has points. Jewelry has points too. Jewelry even has points. So I would pick out beforehand the least, I'm gonna say this, the least inexpensive coin or purchase that has points. And I would decide that before going to their website, because since I'm not logged in, here, I can't see what the points are and I tend to forget. So just remember that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many points, I'm typing in the chat, how many points you buy. You just have to buy something with points. So that could be a piece of jewelry that has 1 point, or it could be a coin that's 5, or a coin that's 10, or whatever. It doesn't matter. So I typically try to find the least inexpensive item to purchase. And then I add it to my cart. Let's just say, for instance, I wanted to order this one. I would add it to my cart. It's going to say check out now. I'm going to say, okay, now I know that I'm a member, but I can't buy as a member. I have to buy in this situation as a guest. So you're going to add item to cart and check out as a guest. Yes, I'm going to have to pay more. Yes, I will pay about 10% more, okay? You'll pay about 10% more. You're gonna check out as a guest. See, the member price here is $199, and my price though is $20 more, so that's about 10%. And then I'm gonna have to fill out all of this information and actually place an order. All right, so once you do that, once you place the order, their account. No, we cannot get regular auto saver coins as a guest. Not that I know of. This is all I've ever been told to do, is that you have to buy coin as a guest. Now, I tell you what you could do. You could do this. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. If it's somebody, okay. If it's somebody that has their Sound Money wallet set up, and okay, let me go back in here. I'll go back and log back in. If somebody, if the person that you're buying a coin under has their Sound Money wallet set up where you can transfer money to them personally, you can buy a coin through them. Or basically what you're doing is you're not buying a coin through them. They are buying a coin. You're just sending them the money for the coin. So you can send them the money for the coin through the Sound Money wallet, and then they can make the purchase. But then they need to make sure that they send the coin to you on the shipping address instead of themselves. That's the only reason I really don't like doing it that way. Is, I mean, because again, I can't log into their account to do that. So I can't transfer it to them. It's not that it's a lot of effort. Now, I talked to Yuri and Madiba about this in Idaho, and I'm just not comfortable in doing this, but they are very frank with their team members. If it gets to that point and they have to buy a coin, they'll tell them, hey, I need your credentials so I can log into your account and order a coin. They'll ask them for that. I'm just not really comfortable in doing that, but you can send them money. And again, I would do that through the Sound Money wallet. You can do that. They can buy an autosaver, but then you got to make sure that it gets sent to you and not to them. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Honestly, I would just rather pay the $20 extra, because again, I'm gonna count that as a business expense for keeping my account, my downline going. Because that's an added expense that I'm going to incur. And I would just, that way I have control. I know that you're paying about, 10% more, but then you can make sure that you buy, like I typically try to buy something that I would want anyway. So I have control over what I buy. I have control over the shipping. And again, I'm going to write that off as a business expense anyway. But you can do that, Brian. That's a very good question. But I just don't typically do it that way, because a lot of what happens is, again, there's got to be some level of trust there. And I know this sounds terrible, and I don't mean it like that, but there's just no way for you to do that unless you could get into their account. And I'm not going to ask anybody for their account information. I'm just not going to do that. I don't think that's what we should do personally. So to answer your question, yes, it can be done. You can do it that way. But like, for instance, your situation, if you were going to send money to Gary for Gary to do that, you and Gary are, have enough of a personal relationship. You could do that. I could do that for you because I know that you would do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody that you don't really know that well, and it's somebody that you haven't really established a good relationship with, I don't know that I would be very comfortable in doing that. So most of the time I just go in there and buy a coin and I can control all of those pieces of the puzzle. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, sir, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, that does make sense. Bob makes it sound like you can go in and buy a Silver Eagle on their account. And it might be this. I wasn't sure once you said earlier that you could go in as a guest, but it doesn't look like you can access a regular autosaver thing. So I'll ask him if there's something that we don't know about that you can do that, or if it is that extensive. Because like his example is like if you were a gold and one of your extra sponsored people, you're 8 and 8 to stay a gold. If one of them dropped out and you had enough points to get $7,000 as a gold, it might be worth buying a coin to get the $7,000
Oh, it would
check
be,
that
no
night
doubt.
instead
You're
of
right.
3,500.
But he's talking about having to go in and buy as a guest, or he's either talking about going in and sending them money
Right.
to buy. And again, yeah, no, he's correct, because when you get to, when you get to that point, if you're talking about the difference between 3,000 and 7,000, that's a huge difference. Heck yeah, you go buy a coin, But again, there's got to be some level of trust there, some level of them understanding what the heck you're even asking them to do. Because if you haven't even established that, and it's not somebody that has a fair working knowledge of 7K and the wallet and all that stuff, you're just,
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a very fair question, and I've done this, again, I've done this several times, and it's just that's why we really don't need to add and build under people unless they're really going to commit to the autosaver. And I used to not really do this, and again, didn't really understand all of it when I first started. But they need to be willing to do two things for you to build a downline with them. And I don't say for them, but with them. They need to be able to be willing to communicate and follow directions. Once you place someone with them and do an enrollment for them, they need to follow directions on, the place left or place right button. That's number one, because that's very important, because you can't do that for them either. And secondly, they need to commit to the autosaver, because again, if they're wanting to get to an income structure, they have to understand how important it is to maintain that level of activity. If they're not willing to do that, then just let them be one of your extra outliers. And like I said, again, we're just talking about hypotheticals, but I've been in this situation more than once, and more than once for the same person. And it is something that you have to do. And finally, I just had to have a frank conversation, with that person to say, hey, look, I bought a coin under you 6 times. But anyway, I just, and it's not to be, I know a lot of people are like, well, the autosaver, it sounds like you have to do this. But you don't have to do the autosaver. The autosaver is really just an option. But if you are wanting to be a part of the commission structure and earn some extra money and get into a situation where you're wanting your 7K to help start paying for your silver, then you need to do this. And again, if they're looking at it from a business building perspective, they will understand that that is a qualified expense for their business. But again, not everybody's looking at it that way, and that's okay. That's okay. But going forward, and now that I feel like I have a basis and a foundation, I want to be as frank with you guys as I can, especially those of you who are like myself, who are really wanting to pour themselves into the business and fully understand what's possible. You got to have points, and your points is what is going to drive your income. Rank will too, because you can only earn so much money per rank, but building points on your left side and your right side is the most important income producing activity. So we talked a little bit about the Trello board. we talked a little bit about commission and points. Do we have any other questions about commission and points? Did I answer all those questions, Brian, that you guys had?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey,
Okay.
Sherry.
Hey,
Sherry.
how are you?
It's Michael. Yeah. Quick question. And maybe you answered it while I was helping with the laundry, but we have to multitask. If that person that you're buying a coin for like that and they go inactive, if that just continues to happen and it's a problem, how do we address like who's under them if they just really do go away? I mean, do you just literally lose everybody? Or
Well,
I think you mentioned something the other day about something we could do, but it's not the easy way, obviously.
it is not. It honestly, worst case scenario, if that person went away and totally either canceled or didn't renew their account, you would lose everybody below them in their downline. So what you'd want to do is you can, because it is a business, there is a transfer form that must be signed by that person to give up their spot. It can be done, but there's a little bit of paperwork. And again, you're going to have to hopefully have a good enough relationship with that person that they will be willing to sign that form. Now, I've got a couple people that are not renewing, and they have a couple of active people below them, and they're not willing to sign the form. They're just done, and that's okay because that's their decision. But because it is a business, and again, all right, I'm gonna say this too, just so that you guys know this. If you died today or tonight, do you know that you can leave your downline to your children in your will? You can do that. Okay. So because there is the ability to do that, 7K is protecting themselves by having the person that is giving up that downline or giving up that structure basically saying, I understand that I am relinquishing my placement in this structure. So basically what would happen, Michael, is the person that is giving up their placement has to sign this form, and then we need the name and the email of the new person that's going to take their spot at the same time. And then 7K would handle the transfer from that existing person to the new person. So the new person wouldn't sign up yet. You know, it would be somebody that would be the next person that was going to sign up. 7K would then send them the document to sign. And then basically the new person would inherit that downline and start as a copper or start as a bronze or whatever it is, or an associate, whatever it is, the situation is. So it can happen, but the person that's giving up that spot has to sign the form.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep. I mean, and again, it's just from a legal aspect, you know, you're trying to.
Now if that person has, let's say, 2 associates under them, it's not like those 2 associates are going to lose everything on their end. It's just we above them would lose them, basically.
That's correct. They don't really lose anything. We just lose the connectivity from that person down, you know. So like, for instance, okay, say for instance, that person it's in question just goes inactive. Well, if they have active people under them, we still get points for them. Okay. But if that person cancels or doesn't renew or whatever, then that downline becomes gone. So then we don't get points on those people anymore. And I don't really understand that whole scenario enough to be very knowledgeable about it. Because it kind of scares me, to be honest with you, because then who do those people that were in that downline, who do those people actually belong to, and where do they go, and what if they need help? I mean, I really don't understand all that part, honestly. But I just have been told that that's your only other option is to be, in order to save the downline, that person has to give their permission. Because again, it is a legal business situation.
Final question.
Mhm.
I promise.
No, you're fine. Ask.
Would it make sense? This is just a general question. Would it make sense in everything you said tonight? Would it make sense when you're talking to your new enrollees, if they are not really feeling really excited about the autosaver, and maybe they're not going to do an autosaver, maybe they're just going to be a member and happy,
Mhm.
would it make sense at that point to actually strategically place them on the left?
Or whatever your largest side is.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just trying. I'm just thinking, as a new
Yes.
guy here, I'm thinking that's probably what that meant. But
Yes. But
because your
again,
idea is you want this
also
autosavers in the right side.
again, but also as an outlier, again, still not under somebody that I still wouldn't add anybody under them initially at all. Like, I mean, like I would go back to, like, they would be a 7 or an 8 for me, no matter what side they were on. I wouldn't put them as somebody that I'm going to build, my 1s under or my 2s under. They're going to be an outlier, like 8 or 22 or 7 or 21, or even 17 or 16, somebody that you're not going to be building, associates under. Like, they can still join, and that's cool and that's great. And they don't want to do the autosaver, that's fine, but don't build under them.
Okay, so basically the outlier people, I'll call them the outlier people.
Yeah.
No offense to them. You can put as many outlier people as you want.
It
The
don't
point
matter.
is you
Yes.
just don't want to put them in the team under you. And then the point is you'll be still making points off the outlier people if they buy something, right?
Yes, that's right.
Then four.
And
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and they can always decide to turn the autosaver on later, and then we could add some under them, or they could start building some under themselves too. It's just, again, one of these things, guys, I wish I'd understood a little bit better when I was getting started, but I didn't. And so, because really, honestly, when somebody comes in and it's going to be a member, we need to let them tell us what they want to do. Okay, yes, the autosaver is a good thing for them, but if they do not want to do that and are not comfortable with that, let them buy their bullion and let them buy their Eagles to their sound money wallet and be happy. And that's okay. Just let them do that. You're just better off not adding people under them, because then again, they're like, well, why, a lot of people just tell you up front, or they've told me up front, I'm just not really comfortable with all that. Don't really want to do that. Not into collectibles. I just want to buy some silver, and sometimes those situations change later on, 2, 3 months, 6 months in, they start going through some stuff, going through some training, going through some understanding, and they go, okay, all right, well, now I understand why the autosaver is kind of important. Or they'll see somebody post a PSI that I got paid this week. They'll be like, well, how do I get paid? I've been here for 6 months. I hadn't made a dime. Well, you don't have your autosaver on. I can't put anybody under you, because there's no benefit to do that, because you won't ever get paid because your autosaver is not on. Anyway, I'm just saying that leads to further conversation, but it's basically usually at that point, them coming to you rather than saying, oh, you got to do this, and then you got to do this. And I really let people kind of drive the train. Now that I understand things a lot better, I did some things probably not incorrectly because I really didn't know, but I understand things better, and we need to be in service of what is best for them. So, and again,
Sherry, that's a great tactic, because, and I hate the word tactic, but that's a great thing to do, because first off, that's how you did it to me. But number two, I think it gives them the understanding that, hey, we want to serve them. We want to help them, not us saying, hey, where can we get you to sign so we can put you in our downline?
that's right.
So it's kind of a way to present yourself without well, obviously you want them on your downline, but in the end, you want them help too. So
We
it's
want to be about service.
absolutely.
And then let them decide for themselves what they want to be a part of. And, and then just let that be. And odds are, those situations do change. So, again, that's my best advice moving forward is really listen. When you start talking to people about the three options, I speak about all three. The product, you could buy a product from the product store, you could do the autosaver, or you could do the Sound Money wallet, or a combination of all three. But it's really their option because it's their account. Let them decide what's best for them. Because again, if you're talking to somebody about collectibles and they don't have a clue on God's green earth what the heck you're even talking about, you have lost them in 30 seconds. And people don't buy and participate in things they don't understand. So start simple and let them kind of decide, and let them ask questions, and let them kind of, again, let them carry the conversation, and you just be there to help and assist. That's all we should be doing, is helping and assisting and being in service to our people. That's kind of, my 2 cents on that.
Thanks, Sherry. It's awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, you guys. Well, this was great. We went an hour and a half. That's awesome. I'm hoping that we got a lot of questions answered. Now, I do want to talk about the email marketing thing real quick. Everybody should have their data. I got to send Brenda her data because she just got a new email. I've got to do that. I'm going to start sending out a few emails tomorrow, a few test emails tomorrow. And I suggest you start doing kind of the same. What I'd like to do, and this is just for those that are participating in that, I would like for us to maybe get back together midweek or so, or I don't know. I would like us to have a status update every week. What do you guys think about that? Like, so we know what's going on. We know what's working. We know what's not working. Like, hey, Cherry, I've sent out 100 emails and I've got 0 responses back. Okay, well, do we need to tweak things? I think we need to talk to each other at least once a week, if not twice a week for the first couple of weeks, just so we can kind of stay connected and figure out what's working. What do you guys think about that?
I like that.
I'm game.
Well,
Just don't make it at 9 a.m.
for real. Well, with my digital diet going on. So I think maybe Wednesday. I think start maybe sending out some emails tomorrow, and maybe Wednesday, Thursday, we get together, or maybe next Sunday. It didn't matter. I just want us to kind of connect with each other and figure out what's working. If we're getting any responses back, do we need to tweak things? We're going to have to be kind of open and honest with each other, just so we can help each other figure out, from a verbiage standpoint, are we getting our point across? How are things going? So I would do this in very small increments. Don't blow through 1,000 emails in 5 days, just very small, kind of like what Taylor talked about. So we're just looking to get started with that, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what we get. I'm excited to see if there's anybody that we talk to that's already in PSI. I'm excited about that too. All right, so any final questions for tonight? Okay, all right, well, I'm gonna let you go. If you need me, text me or call me. Text is best throughout the day, and anytime after 3:30 is great for phone calls. Thanks everybody that was on tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I am excited to see where we go from here to the end of the year, and you know, just really want to help everybody that we can. Okay, and I'm here if you need me, so holler at me, and let's get together. Okay, so I will let you know if we get together midweek. We'll just have to see. It just depends on if I get emails out, if I get responses back. I think maybe Wednesday might be too fast. So we may just do like a status update next Sunday night. I don't know. We'll see, but let me know your thoughts on that. And we'll go from there. Let's see if anybody will.
Hey, Sherry.
Yes.
I was just sitting here thinking, did you put the Trello link in the chat or in Telegram tonight so people
Not
can find it?
tonight, no, but it's in
Okay.
there, and I will redo that. I'll do that right now. But yeah, thank you, Michael, again. I love it so much. It's wonderful.
You know, I just, over the years as IT, I just keep these kind of things in the back of my mind, you know, when people need XYZ, you know, and this one just seemed to work well for me, you know, to keep my thoughts literally in a line. I'm getting older, so I'm forgetting a whole lot more these days.
Well,
So,
I know.
you're very welcome.
And I, like I said, I probably added a little bit more, probably went a little crazy, but you know, I just couldn't. I got to thinking about boards and everything that we needed to have, and I was like, okay, we need this. Okay, we need this. But yeah, I just re-added the link to populate into the team chat. And like I said, I just want to make sure that everybody, you know, has that, and we can start adding our people in there. I'm going to go back through everybody that has signed up this year at some point in time and make sure that they're in the team chat if they want to be in, and on the Trello board. And so I got a busy week ahead of me, but I'm excited. And again, thank you so very much, you guys, for hopping on with me tonight. And I will see you again soon. Okay.
Hey, bye.
See ya.
All right, you guys. Good night. Stop screen share.